morning, my knitters. How are you? You're watching Recreational Knitting. My name is Karen, and I haven't been here for a long time. I think it's 6 weeks now. Stick to the end if you want to hear about the health issues, and I'll go into them a little bit there. I won't bore you with all the details, but yeah, so knitting time has been decreased. I'll just say it that way. Yeah, so I'm hoping this finds you all healthy and wealthy and wise, or all the things. Again, my name is Karen. I live in Florida. We traveled for 4 years in an RV, and that's why you get the name Recreational Knitting. Go back and check out some of our other videos from other states and locales. There's some really nice footage of some places that we've been, many of them United States national parks. Welcome to anybody that's new here, that's just found me. I hope you find this somewhat entertaining, excuse me, and worthwhile. If you do all the YouTubey things. Welcome back to everybody who has stuck with me and has been waiting for my next one. I thank you so much. Again, Recreational Knitting. Let's get to it. You're here for the knitting, so am I. And I have a lot of things, but not a lot of finished objects. So let's start with finished objects. I got some socks that I'm going to be delivering this week to a friend. She is recovering from brain cancer, and I've made her a hat. I'll insert that here. And this is a pair of socks for when she has some treatments and her tootsies get cold. So these are made out of Patton's Croy, and I found this skein that I've been saving for myself. Missy needs them more. So there they are, just little shorty socks since we live in Florida. And I can't believe, but they are so very close to perfectly matched. So that's maybe a second or a third in my knitting career. Seems like I'm always like 2 rows off. So yes, these will be going to Missy today. And that's my only finished object besides the hat that I just showed you. And those are both for Missy. I have several almost finished objects except for 1 or 2 little things. This is my tank art top from Anna Dewey Knits. Anna, I'm terrible. She's a she's a Finnish designer. I think the last time I showed you, I was here, and it's a top up, top down, excuse me. And this is the last place that I was. And what I need to finish is an I-cord sleeve, or maybe 2, and still debating about the neckline. So that's what I need to finish. And this is going to be my weekend of finishing. So that is on the block to work on today. It's called the Tank R Top. I'm terrible with names. Anyway, Tankar. I'll put it down here. I really like the pattern. It fits well. I would prefer a little longer sleeve. That's just me. That's why one of the reasons why I'm putting on some I-cord. I think I'm going to do a 4 stitch I-cord. So yeah. This is made in drops, Bell, which really seems to be a nice weight. It's knits up into a DK weight, and it's cotton and linen and some viscose. You know, they all have viscose in them. All right, that's an almost finished object. AFO. Okay. And I'm going to show you very quick. This is from the same designer. This will be a new release soon. It's going to be a scarf and shawl, and I just need to do some I-cord for this. So if you like that designer, and I'll put the name here, this is what that scarf or shawl will look like. But I'm not quite done. I still need to do I-cord finishing. That too will be on my finishing list this weekend. And the third almost finished object, oh, there goes the yarn. Oh, bummer. This is my Etta top, which is a Barocco pattern. This is made in Summer Sesame, which unfortunately is now discontinued, but you can find it in many yarn stores. It's a DK weight, and it's got, let me stand up here. It's got a lace. I don't know whether you can see it or not. It's got a lace yoke, and I just need to finish about an inch of sleeve. And it's 1x1 ribbing, and then I need to bind off. And then, of course, all the things that need to be woven in. But yes, this is, I think the last time I showed you, I was here. So I've knit quite a bit in 6 weeks, considering this, but really would have preferred to have it done. And the yarn is everywhere now. So, well, I'll just throw that on the floor. I think that's it for my works in progress, except I have a couple new cast-on. This was my birthday Christmas yarn that my husband gifted me at Christmas. It's called Zooey. I called it Zoe until I heard everybody at the yarn store call it Zooey because it's got 2 O's, but I always called it Zoe. It's a linen cotton blend by Juniper Moon Farm. Hoping you can see that well. 60% cotton, 40% linen. I personally like it. A lot of the ladies at the yarn shop are dissing it. I personally like it. Makes your knitting look a little linen-y, and that's what you want from a linen cotton yarn. So this will be Salmon Sat, excuse me. And this is by Elspeth Judith. So if you're looking for just a plain summer tee, this is it. And I'm liking it so far. It's, I do like the fabric that it's creating. I don't know whether you can see that well or not. When you have T-Rex arms and you're trying to show things on camera, it's not easy. But yeah, I like the fabric. I love the color. I adore this color. And I don't have many things in red, but as you can see, I have another sweater started. Haven't worked on it. We're not talking about it today. Yeah, so I have a few things that are, as you'll see, are reddish. So that's my first whip, and that is in the original bag that I got from She Sells Yarn, which is my local yarn store. And yeah, so that's a new cast on. Oh, here's a existing cast on. Here is my, what do we call this? Muscle burrow. I'm very close to starting to decrease now. I haven't really worked on this a lot, but yeah, I've worked on it. And trying to think, yeah, I put a marker here. I was just over the halfway mark. and I have this much yarn left, so I'm hoping that that works. This is a deep stash Henry's Attic. It's Tussa silk and merino wool, and it's heaven on earth. This will be a gift for a friend at the state park. She's a volunteer manager. So yes, this is another work in progress that I've worked on. Anything else that was existing? No. Oh, yeah, no. I think that's it. So the next things are simply from stash until I tell you that they're not. This is the Broken Record Broken Rib Socks. I believe it's a free pattern. And it's by Alex Parker Mooney. And it's, pretty simple. And these will likely be a gift for one of my children. And I haven't gotten very far. I started these during knit day at my local yarn store. So haven't done much. I've figured out that smaller needles hurt this more. So I can only do a little bit at a time with those, like we're talking a row or two. So, but yes, luckily I have 6 months until Christmas. This is made with, I don't know. It could be a Plymouth yarn. I think that's when the acquisition was gotten, when we were in Monterey, California. And I went to the local yarn store in Pacific Grove, California. And this could be a Plymouth yarn. There was no tag. I don't know why there was no tag, but it's also deep stash. Again, Broken Record, Broken Rib Socks. Alex Mooney, if you're interested. Pretty simple pattern. Easy enough to do at a knit night. Okay. Is there anything else? Yes, there's one thing, which is, again, a new cast on. But I'm using up stash. The whole stash be gone and whip be gone. That's what we're working on still. Please join us. I've not been on Ravelry recently. And yeah, so there's what I've got so far. I've got 3 squares of, what is it called? Cozy memories. That blanket, yeah. So yeah, and I have lots of fingering weight yarns that will be going into this. This is something that I started about a month ago, just to see if I could get rid of a little bit of my yarn stash up here, leftovers. Okay, I think that's all my works in progress that I have to show you today. Behind me is, oh gosh, there goes that, is a sweater that I started a couple months ago. It's Trilogy Yarns. It's called Unicorn Farts. And I don't know what the name of the pattern is. The pattern is behind you over there. So, and the brown cardigan is also not been worked on. So, let's see if I can get that back up there. There we go. So, I think we've covered all of that. All right. The whole stash be gone, whip be gone. Well, I'm working on it, and I know you are as well. We want to get our stashes under control. But I went to my local yarn store. She sells yarn and more in Ormond Beach, Florida. Hi, Helen. So I went to Yarn Day, local yarn store day, and it was so crowded and so wonderful. I met one of you guys. Hi, you know who you are. yeah, it was really kind of surreal. I was standing at the checkout and this girl says, "I know you." And I'm looking at her like, "Never seen you before." She goes, "Let's see, I'm an SLP." And I said, "Well, I'm an SLP, which is speech language pathologist." But that didn't seem to ring a bell. So she figured out that she watched my podcast. So, hi, you know who you are. So I went to my local yarn store and did a little damage, not a lot. But I bought 4 skeins of this luscious color pod, Juniper Moon Farms, which is really quickly becoming one of my favorite yarns. I've knit a sweater in Santa Cruz. I've knit one in the organic Patagonia, I think that's what it's called. Seems like I'm knitting something else with that right now. But yeah, this is pod. It is 100% cotton. And I have no idea how this will react. But I have something caked up and I'm going to try just to make a plain tee with it. It's bumpy, but I'm hoping that maybe that will help. The twist is high on this, so maybe it won't bag out on me. I will have to choose something very carefully, but I basically bought this for the color. This is my new color. I love it. So don't have a pattern picked out yet, but if anybody has suggestions for this, for 100% cotton, and again, in my new bag, She Sells Yarn. Alrighty, let's see. That was from local yarn store. Okay, and then I purchased, those of you that have been watching a long time, you know that I'm originally from Baltimore. Go Ravens! And so those of you that probably are in the United States heard about the Francis Scott Key Bridge being knocked down. It's hard to say that a huge bridge is knocked down by a barge that was leaving the Baltimore Harbor. So my favorite local dyer when I lived in Baltimore is Neighborhood Fiber Co. She's a Black-owned woman business, and she originally started in Washington, D.C., and quickly moved her business to the Baltimore area, knowing that it was less expensive, quirky, and conducive to what her business model was looking like. So she's dyed a whole bunch of what she's calling Key Bridge. Neighborhood Fiber Co. out of Baltimore. Key Bridge, hoping you can see this. And the colors are absolutely luscious. They're totally my colors, beachy, beachy, love, love. So I have 3 skeins of this that I'll be making some kind of a summer tee. This is her 100% organic merino base, 400 yards. And I don't know if she has any more on her website or not, but if you like this color and want to support this, proceeds from this, it's my understanding, are going to the families of the deceased workers that were on the bridge that night that it collapsed. So if you want to do some things that make your heart feel good and you are itching to buy some nice yarn, try her out, see what you think. All right, hold that thought. Yeah, you can see that I'm burning through that not buying stash promise, right? I think you'll see a little problem that I've got here. This is from a D-stash, and this is called Little Wren Hollow, who is the dyer. Sorry for the crinkles. And this is her Etsy shop. And it's a light pink with some olive and once in a blue moon, a little speckle of kind of hot pink, turning to white in some places and brown in some places. So I have no plans for this except maybe as a stripe if I think I need more yarn for to be knit out of stash sweater. So, and it was a very good price as a D-stash. So, you know us knitters, we like a good sale. Speaking of good sales, I found these at a thrift shop a little over a month ago. These two little puppies, which are 25 grams each. So I got enough here to make a pair of shorties. This was $1 at my thrift store. I'm assuming since they are Regia and they're 75-25, that they'll probably get made into some shorties. But yeah, I love it. $1. Acquisition, what can I do? Who among us would not have picked this up? Raise your hand. Yeah, I thought so. We're all gonna buy this for $1. So that is just some of my acquisitions. It's bad. Every year, I shouldn't say every year, a lot of years, I will buy Miss Bab's Maryland Sheep and Wool. Since I can't go, since I'm no longer 45 minutes from the show, I'm decided to make myself feel better and purchase Miss Bab's yarn color. Well, this year she had two. One was, I believe, beach, and the other was lakeside. Well, I really liked this green, which I just thought was beautiful. And this again is in her, I'm gonna lie to you if I say Putnam, 75-25, 400 yards. And I've used this before, but I have other yarns that I can pair with that I think it will look nice in a finger weight sweater. Yeah, of the striped variety. Yeah, so I think that this will be nice, and you'll probably see it up here eventually because I won't need the whole skein. But I really just thought that was pretty, and I couldn't pass it up this year. And it's very unlike me to not get the beachy colors, but I thought it was nice. Yeah, I'm not doing so good with not buying stash. And it gets worse. Yeah, it gets worse. This is from another crafty girl. This is a colorway that she had a collaboration with the Fat Squirrel. I bought the Fat Squirrel bag and I bought this, and they match. hold that thought. I'll go get it. They did a great job of this. I'm not going to take this out because I have really no plans for this at the present, but I'm hoping that you can see that it's absolutely perfect. So yes, so Sarah at Another Crafty Girl had a collaboration with the Fat Squirrel, and I had ordered this. I want to think back in February, and it just came this week. She had some health issues, and she apologized, and I'd forgotten all about it. Nice surprise, don't need it. When will we learn not to buy single skeins of yarn? Apparently, I haven't learned yet. And this is my fail. I haven't picked this up. This is my Wisdom of the Moon shawl that most of you have probably finished. This I'm going to pick up after I get these projects done and attempt to finish it. So those of you that haven't finished it, I'm going to keep this open for a while and just keep working on it. And there will be several giveaways because of it. I apologize. That's all I can do. So keep it up. Mine was an utter failure so far. It just got too warm here to work with sticky yarn. And it's beautiful yarn. It's woolen spun. It's beautiful. That's not the issue. It was just too hot here. So I will pick that up soon, I promise. All right, what else do I have to show you? Oh, it's bad. This is a fade. There's, I bought two packages of it. So this is doubled. So you start off with a solid yellow, and then you go to a solid with white, or however you want to work it. And there's that, and there's that. That is the fade right there. Do I have any clue to what I'm doing with this? No, but there's enough for a sweater. This is, again, one of those sales destashes that if I had no yarn, this would have been a steal. But, you know, since I have like a cupboard full of yarn, this was stupid for me to buy. I own it. But it's KFI luxury collection. It's these are 50 gram. They are 100% superwash wool, and they are 153 yards each. So I have 8 of them there. So that makes, you know, do the math, 1,100-ish yards. So I can make a tee out of this, or I can do whatever I want with it. So yeah. Yeah, but it's pretty. And isn't that what it's about? All right. More stash. Since I couldn't knit for a week during this time with this, I decided I was feeling very, very sorry for myself. So I bought myself a couple of books. This is the one by Woolly Wormhead. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff that she's got in here. And she just gives you swatches so that you can insert this into your own knitting, which is really good if you're good at that. I'm not. I need a pattern. But one of her patterns, another pattern. If you're not familiar with her, she is a neurodivergent person living in the UK. It's a scarf. And she primarily designs hats. But as you can see, and this is the one I love, she's branched out into some scarves, shawls, and this is 50 stitch patterns and 10 projects in this. And there's 3 on the back. It's a beautiful book. She uses primarily short rows to make her, she uses short rows to make her designs, and she really explains it well. I would recommend this book if you're really interested in it. I got it for eye candy. I'll probably never, I shouldn't say that. I'll probably try a few of these. She starts out simple with short rows, and then, you know, it gets kind of crazy. But they're beautiful. They really are beautiful. So if you're interested in this and haven't seen it yet, I would recommend seeing if your library has it, see if you like it. Might be a good collection for your knitting library. Again, this was, I feel sorry for myself, purchase. I didn't need it. This was, again, I'm feeling very sorry for myself, purchase, saltwater socks. These are by the Saltwater Knitting Gals, Christine LeGros and Shirley Scott. They're from Newfoundland or Newfoundland. I always said it was Newfoundland, but then I heard a podcaster say Newfoundland, so I'm not sure. Pardon me if I screw up. I screw up most of the time. So, again, they've got other things in there besides socks, a headband, some mitts. So if you're into color work, pair of nice house socks. She calls them ankle socks. They've got a lot of nice things. Again, this was a pity move, and I'm okay with that. I own it, and it's a good place to be when you're feeling sorry for yourself, buying a book because you can't buy yarn. But didn't I buy yarn too? Yeah, don't get me started. Anyway, that's all the acquisitions. Oy vey. Yeah, that was too many, and but it's been 6 weeks, so spread that over 6 weeks and it doesn't look so bad. Okay, the last time I was here, I promised you guys my Make 9. It's only June. All right, so these are my Make 9 for the year. This is whatever this pattern is. So I've started it. I've started the Wisdom and Moon shawl. This is the Eva cardigan, which I've started. Haven't I started all of them? I wanted to finish the Elysium shawl. It's about maybe a third done. This is the Tankar T, which I'm going to have finished this weekend because I'm going to do the I-cords on the sleeves. This is the brown cardi that you see behind me. This one is another one of Annalena. Oh gosh. I know, you're all screaming it at me. You're all screaming at me. Yeah, I want to cast that on. I have the yarn for it. I want to do the Dingley Dell by Isabel Kramer. And this is the one that I just need to finish the sleeve, called Etta from Barocco. So I have 2 almost finished. If I would get my hiney in gear, I could finish this relatively quickly and this relatively quickly. So I might have a make 4 by the end of the summer. Realistic with this, probably not, but I am working on it. And the only one that I need to cast, the only 2 that I need to cast on are these 2 down here. So if they're make 9 works in progress, they're make 9 works in progress. Have you made a make 9? Usually I would show this in January, but I totally forgot. So you get to see it in June. Happy June. Happy Juneteenth. For those of you that don't know what Juneteenth is, it's June 19th. It is the day that slaves in Texas, 2 years after they were freed, learned of their freedom. So it's a holiday, and go out in your community and see if you can find something to do. I think we're going to try to go to something in Daytona that they're having today for Juneteenth. So, you know, like a little arts fair or something. Yeah. So I think we're going to try to do that. All right. And I think I told you that I was going to try to do techniques on a make 9. The first one that I have is a mattress stitch. I've already done that several times, so I can check that off. Brioche, I haven't started. Trapping floats is a problem for me, and I'll be doing that a little bit on one of my projects that I have here. This says joyless stripe. Yeah, that might be a slip of terms. It's really supposed to be jogless stripes. So I've done it before years ago, forgotten it, so I'm going to relearn it, reteach myself. And that will be done on the Dingley Dell when I do that one. Color work, just getting back into it, trying to do something of color work rather than just mosaic. Okay, tubular bind off. I've never done it. I would like to try it. Cables, even though my first project at the age of 8 had cables, I haven't done much since. It will be a small cable. I think I've made a pair of socks and maybe a scarf with cables, but just to refresh my memory with cables. Yeah. Provisional cast on. I think I've done that once, years and years and years ago. I'd like to try it again to see if I'm any better at it. And I have never done a cardigan, and I have 2 cast on. So yeah, so that's just something that I wanted to master. I've done lots of pullovers, but I've never done a cardigan, and it's just something that's, the construction is very, very different. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Buttonholes, the whole bit. So yeah, and that when it gets cooler in September, October here, I'll probably pull that out again and try to get that finished by the end of the year. Okay, let's see what else. What else do I have? I won a prize a long time ago. It came in the mail. I won it from Mouse's Makes, and I've got her yarn that I won. And this is from Belinda's Baubles, and this is a bag that I won. So I'm going to put one of my projects that was in, not in a bag, in this. And within this were all kinds of goodies. This being the first one, and it's funny, I have one of these I've yet to use. So I might be putting this in a prize package sometime. Thank you, Belinda, for all this wonderful stuff. It's beautiful, and I adore this. It's just that I have one just like it. Yeah, so, and I haven't used it yet. So I'm going to share the wealth with that. That'll go into someone else's prize package. This, I'm not even sure what this is. It looks like a pen. I'm not opening it up at this point. And yay, I misplaced these and I have them everywhere in the house and I still can't find them. So I know this is going to go right in my bedside stand. And there's some really pretty pins here with knitting. And then, let me open this up. I can't do anything with this. I opened this up before and I really like it. I just don't know, maybe if I get dressed up. I'd never get dressed up. But it's really pretty. It's a pin with a ball of yarn and a skein of yarn and another ball of yarn that's a little different. Knitting. So, and some stickers and her famous Texas bee stitch holders. And these are some stitch holders as well. And some of that cord. But I haven't pulled it out yet because I have some of my own. But this has got her little company, Belinda's Baubles. Look her up. She's a prolific knitter, like I used to be. So, yes. So again, thank you, Belinda. This is wonderful. I love it. I love the bag. I showed it to my husband and he goes, no, it's hoarding. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it for all the yarny stuff. This has been a long one. I'll briefly catch you up on what's been happening with me. If you want to leave now, this is all about me, okay? You don't have to listen. Thank you for stopping by. Love you, missed you all. But sometimes life pulls a punch that you can't get over. Okay. All right, those of you that want to know about what's going on with me, those of you that know that I have arthritis. I'll just keep it simple. I have a hip replacement and I'm waiting for 2 knee replacements. And I was getting ready for my pre-surgical visit to my physician, my orthopedic, and they called me and said, we're going to have to reschedule you with the physician's assistant because Dr. Alter has had an accident. Okay. And I said, is he okay? Oh, yes, he's fine, but he's not doing any surgery. Well, I managed, because of HIPAA, you can't ask what happened, but I asked a little, and the PA said that he had an accident. I said, will he be okay? She said, yes, but he's won't be doing any knee replacements until October. That was the first hit. I really had hoped to get one of these done in July, and then optimistically, the second one done in November. That was my timetable. That will not be happening. Yeah. So I see another surgeon July the 12th, and he is trying to fit in 10% of the surgeries that Dr. Alter was going to do this summer. So we'll see. He's a newer doctor. His results are quite good. That's a good thing. So hopefully August, September, I will get my left knee done. And later I'll get the right knee done. I don't know when that will be. We'll have to wait and see how that all goes. In the meantime, I go to the hip doctor because I haven't seen anybody since my actual hip replacement because I'm having back pains and hip pains. Long story short, it's degenerative disc disease, and they want to do an injection on my sacro something joint, SI joint. Okay, that's what they kept saying, so I don't know what it is. And I had to go into same-day surgery and get an injection in my back, which I don't think really helped. And in the meantime, I've been doing physical therapy for my back, as well as my legs to get them set for my July surgery that's no longer going to happen for my knees. So, and then I'm still fussing around with iron and thyroid. Don't get me started. And then this happens. While I was at PT, this has been hurting for a while. So has this, but this one has really been hurting. Thumb arthritis. And the OT looked at it. She goes, you should come to therapy and give you some exercises. But in the meantime, I want you to splint it. And she pulls up Amazon and she gives me a splint to get, which as soon as it came in the mail, I put it on and it took the pain away. So those of you that are out there and you say, oh, splints don't work, this one really did. So I've been fussing with this for 4 weeks now, I think. And the first week she told me, don't knit. And that's when I went kind of on the book splurge and bought a couple things. And yeah, I was feeling really, really, really down. And those of you that know, depression sucks. And when you don't feel well, it kind of all slams together. And I haven't been here for 6 weeks. So I apologize, but I really am not sorry because it is what it is. So, broken bodies, epic fails, lots of stash. I'm okay. I'm coming out of it, and this is better. My back is better. My knees are better. I'm swimming. I'm doing exercises at the Y. It's all good. So I have an appointment for surgery and for a surgeon to set surgery. So hopefully sometime this summer it will occur. So those of you that also have health issues, I get it. It's not what we plan, certainly, but it's what we have. I'm very, very fortunate. This is nothing in the scheme of things, but it's something. So, I will let you go. This has been a long one. I hope you're well. I hope everybody enjoys the weather they're having, whether it's a nice rain, which we really need in Florida right now, or some sunny, warm days, sitting on your porch with a nice iced tea, or Long Island iced tea if you're so inclined. So everyone, enjoy your week, and I promise I'll be better. Knit in peace.